Ford will own the pickup truck when electrification fails and General Motors is left without anything to sell. Ford's stock price is going to go through the roof because they've just committed to internal combustion engine vehicles. Those are just two of thousands of comments saying Ford are in for an incredible success over the next 10 years because of their commitment to gas-powered vehicles. Well, here's what actually happened. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. And, this is kind of a funny scenario here because a lot of these people, they talk a big talk. And I even said on some of these forums, I said, guys, if you're so convinced that because of what Jim Farley just said, that he is committing Ford to gas-powered vehicles and to investing in the gas-powered vehicles over the next decade, if you're so committed, put your money where your mouth is, invest in Ford stock. Well, I don't think any of them actually did it. But if they did, they just lost 12% of whatever they invested. Well, I could read all these comments to you forever. Some of them are incredible. So many people are convinced that electric cars are going to completely fail and they'll just disappear. As in, they won't be in existence in 10 years' time from now. They just won't be around at all. It's quite shocking to me to hear some of the opinions of some of these Aussies, these Americans. I mean, I honestly cannot understand their thinking. Their IQ levels, honestly, you've got to explain this to me, please, people. Their IQ levels. Here we go. Let's just have a look at one of these comments. When all electric fails miserably, Ford won't be completely obliterated. Farley knows better. He knows that all EV will fail. Ford sucks. Last I heard, there's 200 years of known oil supply. Last I heard, EVs will fail completely. It's stupid to go all electric. Nobody wants electric vehicles. This will have very positive consequences for Ford stock. I could go on and on and on, but you get the point, right? Honestly, this stuff is, if it wasn't funny, it would be, sad, wouldn't it? Really. If people really are this stupid, and clearly some people are, I just have to say, I feel sorry for them. That's what we should do. They deserve our pity. They do. Not our ridicule. If you're this dumb, you really do deserve people's pity rather than their ridicule. Anyway, what did Ford say and what are they going to do? Well, first, Ford have committed over $50 billion to electrify their lineup with new products and investing in the electric vehicle factories they need to build them. But Ford CEO Jim Farley said it is also continuing to spend on future internal combustion engine models like the 2024 Ford Mustang unveiled at the Detroit Auto Show and upcoming F-Series pickup trucks. He said, we're investing in ICE segments where we're dominant and where we think as competitors leave the segments, we can grow. So Farley is convinced that Ford is actually going to grow their internal combustion engine vehicle sales because the competition is going to leave. Well, I don't think he's really looked at the competition and what they're really going to do. No American big brands actually are going to leave the market before 2030. So I think Jim Farley here is kind of talking a lot of marketing talk here. He's kind of doing a Mary Barra. That's my opinion. He says, I find it intriguing that we're portraying the future of our industry as monolithic. That's not how it goes. That's not how it's going to manifest itself. Well, actually, driving around on a giant cigarette kind of is monolithic in my opinion. So back in March, Ford split its core business into the Ford Blue division, dedicated to internal combustion engine vehicles and hybrid vehicles, and the Model E division, where, people will keep their jobs as long as Ford doesn't go bankrupt, which is focused on fully electric products like the F-150 Lightning and the Mustang Mach-E, highlighting its commitment to continue to pursue both paths in contrast to some competitors like General Motors and Volkswagen who have committed to an all-electric future. However, GM is saying they're not going to go all-electric until 2035. It's still 13 years away. It's a long time into the future. Battery technology by 2035 will be unbelievable. You would have to be an absolute mental case to want anything other than an electric pickup truck. Now, I know some people watching this video right now, you're going to be like, shock horror. How can you say this? I can't believe it. Just because I like gas vehicles doesn't mean I'm a mental case. Well, actually, It will in 2035. Now, what Ford's actually done, it's given its dealers the option of not selling electric vehicles if they don't want to invest. They're saying to their dealers, this is what Ford have said, you need to invest $1.2 million on charging infrastructure and training and various other things if you want to sell EVs. Ford's given its dealers 6 weeks, so it's actually 5 weeks now from today, to make a decision on their future. Now, in my opinion, if they decide not to invest in selling EVs, they won't exist in 10 years' time from now. That's my opinion. Things will speed up at a dramatic rate. Now, of course, this channel is called the Electric Viking for a reason, and so maybe you think I'm biased, but I don't think I am. I think I am more researched than anything else. The research is what matters more. Now, Farley said this, not all segments will go to electric at the same time, and some may never. Some may never. What does he mean by that? I mean, this sounds like Bill Gates when he said that electric trucks won't work, and he got panned because that was idiocy. Now, Farley is saying some may never. Does that mean he's fully committed to EVs? Clearly not. So, you know what? I take back everything I said, Jim Farley, over the past 12 months. I thought you had talked up a pretty good game, and now it turns out, yeah, either you have some sort of weird personality disorder and you say different things at different times, or you are actually lying. Which is it? I don't know. But either case, whichever one of those it is, I'm concerned. Now, Farley said this, if you're towing a fifth wheel trailer, or you have a bucket body on the back of a chassis cab Super Duty, an electric vehicle makes almost no sense. So is that true? Well, no. I mean, think about it. Tesla is about to start selling a semi with how much range, right? 500 miles, 800 kilometers of range. Now that is a semi. Imagine you put in that size battery, or a battery half that size, into a Super Duty, right? A Super Duty pickup truck. Yeah, but imagine that battery has twice the energy density that it has today. Twice. You can have a Super Duty pickup truck in 2030 with a range of 2,000 kilometers easily. What kind of range is that going to give it when it's towing? At least 1,000, right? Do you really need more than 1,000 kilometers of range? Is there really an advantage to having a gasoline-powered Super Duty in 2030 or 2035? Absolutely not. It's ludicrous to suggest that there would be. I really can't understand why Farley would claim this to be the case when he knows that battery energy density is improving at an incredible rate. Now, Farley's trying to say that California is wrong. He basically came out and did say that. What he's referring to is that California has mandated that 100% of all vehicles sold in 2035 will be electric. General Motors doesn't have a problem with that. Obviously, Tesla doesn't have a problem with that. Many manufacturers don't have any problems with that, but Ford do. Ford is saying, basically Jim Farley is saying that people in California will need to drive out of the state in 2035, buy one of their gasoline-powered pickup trucks, or whatever it is, I don't know, some gasoline-powered vehicle, dinosaur vehicle, and then drive it back into California and just have it registered in some other state. That's essentially what he's referencing, what he's referring that people should do in 2035. Now, I think the guy has just lost the screw. I mean, he's not following the electricity industry. Clearly, he's not. I mean, how could you be if you make this kind of comment? The energy density of batteries. We're already looking at battery technology now that has, 600 watt per kilo at the pack level. I mean, this is the kind of energy density you need. You can run an aeroplane with this stuff. The kind of ranges needed for any kind of vehicle will be enormously compensated for in any car in 2035. There will be so many choices in 2035. I mean, look at the energy density we're already seeing now. Look at the charging speeds we're seeing now. We're seeing chargers come out now with 500 kilowatt charging speed. I mean, 500 kilowatt charging speed and more than 1,000 kilometers of range. There's no possible vehicle on the planet that couldn't be electrified effectively to suit all use cases in 2035. As far as I'm concerned, Jim Farley, he just was never serious about EVs to begin with. It's clearly showing in his comments here, or he's just trying to hang out with his buddies and just trying to please his buddies like, oh, these guys here in Detroit, they don't like EVs, so I'll just say what they want to hear. I don't know what he's doing, but honestly, I really think the guy's lost the plot. I can't understand it. It's a complete reversal to what he's been saying, over the past 12 months. So what happened was, right, a journalist said to him, but hang on a minute, this hasn't been what you've been saying recently. And this is what he said. Look, we'll do what's required, and we're going to grow our EV business to 2 million vehicles in 4 years, and most of that will be conquests. But we want these loyal customers who own F-150s and Broncos and Mustangs to continue to have a great experience, Farley said. So Farley's saying, you can't have a great experience with an electric F-150. That's what he's just said there. He said you can't have a great experience with an electric Bronco, and you can't have a great experience with an electric Mustang. In my opinion, this is mental. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm frankly shocked. And so is the market. You know what? Within 24 hours of these comments being made, Ford stock price is down 12%. So the market doesn't agree with Jim Farley. He goes on, if they're not able to be sold in California, so be it. But there are plenty of other places to drive a Mustang in the United States. What's crazy about these comments is California, it's still 13 years away, right? It's 13 years away before they're going to stop people from buying gasoline-powered vehicles in the state. But the thing is, Dodge is already moving to go all electric in their muscle cars. Even they see the writing on the wall. I really don't think Jim Farley understands the true power we're seeing from electric vehicles. Why would you want a gasoline-powered muscle car, right? Other than the ridiculous noise, which to be honest just gets annoying after a while, but you can replicate that noise with an EV perfectly if you want to. There's all kinds of EV noises you can create to make your car sound like a muscle car if that's what you want. The thing is, Dodge said it perfectly. We've reached the upper limits of the power we can generate from a gas-powered vehicle. The future, therefore, is electric, even for muscle cars. So, as you can see, on Ford, I've changed my opinion. I certainly won't be touching that stock with a 10-foot pole. Why? Well, if your CEO is going backwards and forwards, saying all kinds of things, then can you really trust them? Yeah, I don't know. This is different to Elon Musk tweeting stuff on Twitter, saying stuff about politics. That's a completely different story. Elon doesn't go out and say, Tesla, we've changed our strategy. We're going to do something entirely different. Everything I told you over the past year was completely bogus. And guess what? Gas-powered cars are really the future. You can't get the full experience unless you have a gas-powered car. That's the kind of stuff he's saying. Frankly, I'm shocked by this, but I want to know what you guys have to say about this. What do you think about what he said? I'm still in shock, to be honest, but let me know if you agree or you disagree in the comments section below. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.